variable. Okay, variables. Variable is in PHP identifier prefix with a dollar sign. Okay, a dollar sign. Remember this one. This is basic. Okay, this is a fundamental of PHP. Start by dollar sign mean that is variable. Okay. We have variable scope. Define variable in PHP is simple, but the challenge is about variable scope. Okay, variable scope of variable, a scope of variable which is controlled by a location of variable declaration. Okay, it will control the variable where that variable can be used, where that variable cannot be used. Okay, this is we call variable scope. Okay, there are 4 types of variable. Okay, there are 4 types of variable. We can say here we have a local, global, static, and function parameters. Okay, function parameter. Okay, the variable scope is with determine those part of the program that can access it. Okay, this is we call variable scope. Try we define one variable, and then if that variable can be used for all file, okay, even that variable in another file, that we call global. Okay, if that variable is in that file and then it can be used as only that file, we call local. Okay, this is a different thing, we call local and global. Let's see one by one. Okay, local, for example, this one. A variable declare, a local variable mean a variable declared in a function is a local to that function only. Okay, for example, here we have variable count. Okay, count plus. Okay, so you can use just only that function only. Okay, you can use that only that function only. You cannot use outside. Okay, you cannot use outside of the of that function. This is we call local. Okay, this is the visible only to the code that function. Yeah, okay, it is not accessible outside the function. Okay, remember this one we call local. Okay, for example, you declare, imagine in the simple way is that when you declare the variable in that file, you can only use on that file only. Okay, you cannot use outside the file. Okay, this is we call local scope of variable. Global scope of variable. The global scope, you have to define the global in front of the variable name. Okay, this one is the example. Then you can use it. Okay, then you can use it. For example, here we have a global count. Okay, we have the global counter variable. Okay, we have variable global here we call a counter, and then counter plus. When you count here, when you call to that variable, now from the 10 it should be 11, right? To be 11, different from the local. They can be used as only in that function. Okay, in that function you cannot call to that function and then it will echo. No, it cannot be, because they are different. This one, you see, count equal to 10, and then you try to call to that function, it is not execute because it's local. Okay, it will be execute only on that function. You cannot use outside that function. Okay, this is we call local. Global, you define by global in front of that variable name, and then you can use outside also. For example, this one. Okay, static variable. Okay, static variable. This is static variable. Static variable just be identified by static keyword. Okay, in front of that variable. Okay, in front of that variable. The static variable retain its value between call to a function, but it's visible only within the function. Okay, visible only within the function. Okay, this is we call static. Okay, garbage collection, another function, another feature in the programming language support. Okay, there are many programming support for this one, garbage collection. Okay, for example, here PHP use the PHP use reference counting and copy on write to manage memory. Okay, we use garbage collection to managing memory. Okay, managing memory. For example, here we define a worker equal to array Fred 35 and then Wilma, and then author equal to worker, mean the array is not duplicated in the memory. If we are using garbage collection. If any programming language that do not support garbage collection, mean that if you define this one, it will become one block in memory. Okay, in one block in memory. If you define another line, mean this is equal order equal to worker. For example, here it will be reserve another block of memory. So, but using garbage collection, it will be reuse that array. We will reuse that collection again. We call that, this we call garbage collection.